Direct proportion part 4. Here we have a recipe for a Victoria sponge cake, and this recipe serves 4 people. So we need, for 4 people, 200 grams of butter, 200 grams of flour, half a teaspoon of vanilla extract and a quarter of a teaspoon of salt. Now unfortunately it says serves 4, but we need to serve 5 people this evening. We need to serve 5 people with our Victoria sponge cake. So at the moment it's on 4 people. We want it to serve 5 people. Now when conversing using direct proportion, if you remember, we go from 4 down to 1 to start off with, to 1 person. Then we go from 1 to 5. Now to go from 4 to 1, you divide by 4. So for example, if you've got 4 people, to go down to 1 person, you divide into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4 to get 1 person. And then to go from 1 person to 5 people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you multiply by 5. So to go from 4 down to 1, you divide by 4. And to go from 1 to 5, you times by 5. We're going to represent these 2 operations using a fraction. So firstly we divide by 4. Remember, with a fraction, this line simply means divide by. Okay? So we've got divided by 4, so divided by 4, and we're going to multiply by 5. So at the moment it was 1 person, but we're going to multiply the 1 by 5 to make it 5. So we've now got timesing by 5 and dividing by 4. 5 quarters. So to get our new recipe, which should serve 5 people, we need to multiply these ingredients by 5 quarters. So it's going to be 5 quarters multiplied by 200 grams. Starts off with. Now, we start by doing 200 grams divided by 4. So it's 200 grams divided by 4. So you put the second number on the outside and the first number on the inside. Now you can't fit any 4s inside 2, so you move across. You can fit exactly 5 4s inside 20. So 5 times 4 is 20. There's no remainder. And you can't fit any 4s inside 0, so that's a 0 there. So 200 grams divided by 4 gives us 50 grams. So we've divided 200 by 4. We now need to multiply it by 5. So now we're going to do 50 multiplied by 5. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 5 is 25. So I put the 5 down, the units, carry my 10s, 25. There's nothing else to multiply by, so I carry this up again. My final answer is 250. So 200 grams divided by 4 times by 5 equals 250 grams. So we've now worked out that rather than needing 200 grams of butter, we'd need 250 grams of butter. In the same way, rather than needing 200 grams of flour, we'd need 250 grams of flour. Next, we're going to do 5 quarters multiplied by half a teaspoon, by a half. When multiplying 2 fractions together, you times top and top. So 5 times 1 is 5, and bottom. 4 times 2 is 8. So we need 5/8 of a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then finally, 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt times by 5/4. So again, multiplying two fractions together, top times top, 5 times 1 is 5, 4 times 4 is 16. So we'd actually need 5/16 of a teaspoon of salt. And this is my final answer.